again. Newsflash. So does David Bird, so does Jeff Olson, so does Mark Smith. They say the same things over and over. And what do they call it? What do they call it, Kate? Is it spaced repetition?
Mm-hmm.
And I just got off a 3-way call, and I get a little bit of an adrenaline rush after I do them because it's exciting. Sharing Miriam with new people. This lady, Andrina, goes to the gym with her and has 2 part-time jobs, is looking for a way to make more money. She watched a video, got me on a 3-way call, just like that. And we've said it at the beginning. I'll probably put it on my epitaph, on my headstone. More 3-way calls equals more brand partners. If you want to recruit, you have to do 3-way calls. You have to. That's how it works. And it's funny because David Bird, he does. God bless his little gizzard. He says the same. He even said it today. I know I say the same things over and over and over again. If something else worked, I would recommend it. Mm-hmm. Trust me, because I want you guys all in Lexuses. I want your cheeks in those leather seats. You know what I'm saying? Here's the other thing too. Kate and I have been very generous and lax with not all, but some of you on this 90-day run, as far as allowing you guys to get on if you post numbers late, or maybe you didn't NLC qualify or whatever. Just know the next run, we're betting down the hatches. So because most times I'm like, I'm the softie, where you'd think it'd be the opposite, but she's like Hitler. I mean, she was a teacher. She's got to be, she's nicer than Hitler and definitely doesn't have the facial hair of Hitler. Thank God. And if that was the case, then I would really pray that Miriam would create a hair removal product, but she doesn't need it because she really has no hair on her face. Okay. So this is what I want to go over before we switch gears. If you haven't said this to yourself, the majority of y'all are on mute, but if you haven't said this to yourself yet today, make sure to get in front of an ever-loving mirror, okay? Lights have to be on. You can't do it in the dark because it doesn't count if you can't see yourself, okay? In front of a mirror with the lights on, and I want you to tell yourself how amazingly awesome you are. Because if nobody told you that today, dang, you need to just move to Bama, because I'll tell you that all the time. So you are awesome. The only BP I got to see today was Martha. We did a sit down with this beautiful Asian girl, and she desperately needs Miriam in many, many ways. And so Martha's the only one that I got to see, and she is awesome too, by the way. The end of the month, we have 3 working weeks before Christmas happens. December is naturally it's going to slow down at the very end of the month, obviously because of Christmas. So what we want to do, we want to treat the 23rd as our rollover day, right? So for those of you that have iPad and above, director and above organizations, the 23rd significant because you have volume rollover that comes that day. That's going to be a hard day to really work Miriam. The 24th is Christmas Eve. Obviously, the 25th Sunday is Christmas. 26th is going to be a wash. Nobody's going to be thinking. They're going to be probably, burping from all the food they ate on the 25th. The cappuccino punch, it's there. I mean, I'm just being real. I mean, I drink it. You know what I'm saying? It's good. Share Bear knows how to make cappuccino punch. And if you need the recipe, let me know. So 26th not going to happen. The 27th, the 28th, and the 29th. This organization, the whole team, thousands of us, we're going to treat the end of the month, the 27th, the 28th, the 29th. Pick your day, all right? And you're going to treat that as the end of your month. Now, do not wait for the 27th, 28th, and 29th to follow up with people, because if you wait for all of your business to be ramped up by then, chances are you'll never get your points, okay? So at the very least, let's shoot for your 5 points this month. I was just on the phone call today talking to Kate, and I'm like, I've got to sign 2 brand partners this month. I've got to do it like this. That's my goal. Like, I'm on it. I got to get my 5, and I do not ask you guys to do anything that I am personally not doing myself. So just know we're all in this together. I feel a High School Musical song coming on, but I will not sing it. Darn it. Some of you really want me to, but I won't. I'm fighting that urge. We're all in this together. Okay, so 27th, 28th, 29th, Kate is literally breaking out into a rash because I'm singing it and talking about facial hair all the same, and Hitler all in the same call. She can't believe it. So that's the skinny. We can be focused. The 30th is shot. You know that. The 31st, it'll be like shot. Like nobody's going to be thinking Miriam. So don't expect to get your last points. It's amazing the organizations that crank out 5,000-6,000 in volume every single month, the last day of the month, only because everyone's scurrying to get their points. Don't be that team. Don't be that team. You don't want to be that team. And remember, we're all in this together. Na, 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 na. I never learned those words, darn it. And I think that is it. Have your eye serum samples on you at all times, especially like I've got a party next Monday night. That could be a difficult Zoom for me, Kate. I just realized I have a party for Brian. And then the 19th, our 90-day run ends. But I've got a couple different Christmas parties that I've got to attend. Don't kid yourself. I'm going to have eye serum on me. Like, in fact, I may even create like a sequence green, red, and gold belt and just create like little pockets in it where I can just shove that product down in it. And someone says, holy cow, I look tired. I'm like, bam! And then I'm just going to like just start squirting that stuff all over their ever-loving face. I'm doing it. It is on. And then I'm going to sing, we're all in this together. You don't have to be ugly anymore. And then we can just thank the eye serum for that. I made up those words. That's really that part of the movie. But they could use it. I would give them the rights. So the people that you're not always seeing on a regular basis, eye serum's perfect for that. That's what I love about December. Don't forget too, my hair is like, okay, we've got tornado warnings. I think there was maybe one in my house because my hair is like, wow, it's windy in here. What was I talking about? Eye serum. Oh, people are already in the mode of spending money in December. So don't forget that. People are wanting to purchase presents. So we've got our holiday packs. So don't be missing out on that. And from there, I think that was everything that I wanted to cover. You guys are awesome. The verbiage of what we're going to tell you, whatever we tell you to do, it's never going to change. It's always going to be the same. Jeff Olson, everything he says never changes. It's always the same. Master the mundane. That's the beauty of what we do, is that we're able to master the mundane. It's the simplicity of the 2-a-day, putting product into people's hands like the Fuzinatos, doing 3-way calls and sharing what we have. Open mouth, open business, closed mouth, closed business. If you are not talking to people about Miriam, you will be out of business before you know it. That's just how it works. And if the people you're talking to, Anna Woodward said this to her organization, and I love her, so I'm going to repeat it. If you keep hearing no, 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 no on preferred customers and brand partners, 1, you're either talking to the wrong people, or 2, you're not talking to enough people. So figure it out. And if you have to switch up there's things that I jump on board with or I get involved with that I normally wouldn't, but I want to make and meet new people. I have to be intentional with all of that. So put yourself in positions where you're meeting new people. Andrina did this 3-way call with me from a girl that she goes to the gym with. So maybe get in a different class at the gym. Maybe go to a different Sunday school. Maybe get involved in a women's small group. I even thought, I'll tell you what's really popular here in Montgomery is this needlepoint stuff. And I don't know if there's an age limit or whatever, but there are cars in that parking lot all the time. And I'm like, oh, girl may have to take up needlepoint. You watch. I'll be like the president of the Ever-Loving Club singing, we're all in this together. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Matt, consider underwater basket weaving, dude. I'm telling you, it's going to take you places you never thought you would go. But those are the things that you've got to put yourself out there to do. Stretching and growing times are really where you find out what you're made of. Go Lily's daughter. Woo! And from there, okay, I'm going to hand it over to Kate. She's going to explain what we're going to watch. It's way better than listening to me talk. I'm just going to tell you that. I know it's a shocker to some of you. Some of you, your minds are blown because you're not going to be able to hear me sing, and that something could honestly be better than that. Trust me, you're going to be impressed. Kate, would you just mute me? Just take it away.
I can, if you would like. Pat,
I'm doing it for you. Bye.
Pat's laughing at your basket weaving and your needlepoint.
It's true.
How the rest of you keep your mindset, but sometimes my mindset means I have to come to my mom's house and just hide out, just for a little. For her, it's quiet, it's clean, my kids aren't here, so that's my secret. So if you see this, I'm at my mom's. Okay, one other thing before I click on the video, I'm going to show a video that was at the Eric Worre training that Jess and Noelle and a bunch of the top earners went to. I'm smart because I didn't go, but I bought the live stream so I can watch everything, but I didn't have to leave. So that was kind of awesome. So I'm going to try and share them the next few times. So when Tanya's at the Christmas party, the show will go on here. We'll still do the Zoom, and I will share a couple videos that I've been watching. So I spent 40 minutes today recording this on my phone, and then it wouldn't upload. So that was awesome. So we're just going to do it a different way. But when you're following up with prospects, also the other thing is remind them that if they get signed up before the end of 2016, it's a tax write-off for the year because they've then had a small business in that calendar year. So something to think about, because my brain does not go that way, but some people, that clicks for them and that makes sense. So offer that up. They may not care, but you may have an influx of brand partners who know they need write-offs for 2016, and this could be that. And they could look less wrinkly, so that would be a win. Okay, we're gonna see if this works, so this will be fun.
Do you need me to sing Jesus Take the Wheel? Because I will.
I mean, we're probably someone has to keep this truck on the path here. Come on. Okay, I think this will work.
Come on out, everybody.
It will get louder here in a minute.
All right, have a seat. Let me ask you real quick. How many people would you estimate that you have sponsored lifetime utilizing social media as part of that process? Start at the end, just a quick poll.
Approximately 350 people.
Approximately 350 people in what period of time?
6 years.
6 years. Liz?
About 220 people in 2 years.
220 people in 2 years, Cedric?
Well over 300 plus in the past couple of years.
Over 300? Darren?
Okay, this is not meant to panic any of you. Just know that there's bigger possibilities with social media, so don't freak out.
Yeah, I may vomit.
6, 7 years. 300 to 400?
We started social media recently, so it was around 100 people last 4 months.
100 people last 4 months. 4 months.
About 350 in 4 to 5 years.
350, 4 to 5 years. So how many people would like to have those types of results? Would that be okay?
I would.
Let me get a quick survey in the room. If you've sponsored more than 100 people in your lifetime, stand up, please. Through any form.
We're going to fast forward a little bit.
Wow.
And I mean, that's incredible because then you can just utilize those times to really connect with people, build your business.
There's a lot of platforms out there. Social media, but here's what I found out in the research. We've done exhaustive research in the last 6 months inside of network marketing. But what I found in the research is there are many platforms, but the principles stay the same. The principle of going in with the right mindset, the principle of building a brand, and that's not a big formal thing. It's just kind of deciding how you're going to represent yourself to the world and being your best self. The principle of building your following of friends, fans, followers, those people that are watching your, interacting with your, whatever you're putting out there. the principle of converting those people to prospects in an elegant way that isn't, scary for people, and then converting those people to the team and then starting to use the platform itself to train and to duplicate. Those principles work with every platform. But a quick question for everybody, I'll start with you. There's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Pinterest, there's Twitter, there's Snapchat, there's YouTube, there's all kinds of different platforms out there for social media. If you had to pick one, what, playing with us out there, what is King Kong? What is the absolute, if you're going to utilize these principles, what's the one platform that you would start with and then add the other platforms onto?
Well, I still am a big believer in Facebook, and mainly because it's still where people spend a majority of their time. Snapchat is up and coming, especially with all the millennials, and a lot of people are spending time there. But
as a baby boomer, I'm completely confused by Snapchat.
it can be confusing for sure.
Totally.
So, but if you're looking for more of a market, I think Facebook is still the big giant, and they're going to continue to work hard and innovate so they can remain the big giant. So I would start there.
Facebook,
Facebook.
YouTube,
Facebook.
Facebook. So we have 5 Facebooks and a YouTube. Okay. Now, YouTube is something of a video delivery platform and probably secondary social media platform. Would you define it that way? Search engine, search and social media. All right, cool. So I would say those two are the big players in the space. If I wouldn't start your strategy with Pinterest necessarily, or with Instagram or with Twitter. Those are add-ons. Would be nice to have. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna start in the end. What is the biggest mistakes you see people use on social media? Think of one mistake, and then we'll come down the row and tell us what people, especially in network marketing, what's the mistake that they make that shoots themselves in the head?
Just one? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Spam. I see this all the time. I get prospected myself, and I go to your page, and it's all things about your company, and your profile picture is a cat. Or I'm serious. I don't know who you are, and it's spam. I don't know what you're about, what you stand for, nothing. All I know is that you like X, Y, and Z company.
I think the biggest mistake I see is people trying to be their company and not being authentic to who they are. People want to buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And if you are, similar to what Emily said, being spammy, or you are not your company and you are not your product, you are you. So just really be in tune with that and be the best version of yourself.
Be you, don't be your company. Stay away from the spam. Cedric.
Treating social media like it's a psychiatrist. I think a lot of people, especially Facebook, they tend to use Facebook and say things that they would normally say to someone in private back in 1972. So I think that all the things that might be going on in your personal life, with your kid, with your husband, with your significant other, all those things, you put them on Facebook and you tell the whole world, looking for likes or sympathy or people that might be in the same book with you, not thinking of the people who might not be liking it. You're more concerned about the people who are liking it versus the people who see it but are not liking it. So stop treating social media like a psychiatrist, because ironically, Facebook doesn't talk back.
It's good.
Awesome.
I would say that, and I was joking backstage, I was like, I've probably made more mistakes than everybody combined on the panel. And one of the things I have.
Well, let me say one thing. You made a lot of mistakes, but you made a conscious decision.
Yeah.
To take your game up in this arena to get better, to build your business.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I failed at an extremely fast pace trying to learn it. And one thing that I see we forget, and I know I was guilty of this for a while, we're making changes now, that 80% of our training, when we bring somebody on board, they're looking at us, go, can I do what you do? Do I want to do what you do? Do I have time to do what you do? And do I want to do to my friends, family, and neighbors what you just did to me? And so what happened, it backfired on me because I forgot that. And so it wasn't very duplicatable. I would have people to come up at the conference and go, I got started because I saw your YouTube video. And after about several dozen of those, I'm like, great, congratulations, welcome. But I'm kicking myself thinking, why didn't you call me? But then they started telling me, I didn't think you had time for me. You look so out of reach. So that was a big mistake. But I see people that are not attractive on social media. Now, what do I mean? Thank God for me, that didn't mean physically attractive, right? I know some of you have maybe mistaken me for The Rock, but I'm not. I'm not The Rock. A little bit smaller. You can call me the Pebble or something like that. But here's the deal. So they go out there and they preach personal development and,
Get it, Pebble?
one post has bad language. It's terrible. And that one post ruined everything that they had built for the last several months. And so I think we have to really think about it. We always have to be on, because time will promote us or expose us. And when they're looking on social media, you can sit back. I know during the election, there are people that I went, wow, I never knew they were that type of person. And that was their heart because it just came out. I would never want to work with them. So I've had people approach me and going, I know everything about your company. I want to join. And I'm like, well, no, you need to go back to the person that told you because, we reap what we sow and treat the people the way you want to be treated. They go, Darren, go look at this person's social media and ask yourself, would you want to be in business with that person? And it's hard to debate that.
Excellent.
So for myself and my husband, Chad, one thing that we tell our organization, and sorry to be visual, we always say, don't diarrhea on people. Basically, you don't want to continue to spam them and just give them buy my product now, and here's my link. Buy this now, and here's my opportunity. Just continue to say that. And another thing is we always ask ourselves, who do we follow and why do we follow them? And that's a huge question to ask yourself as well, because you want to add value to the people who you're trying to attract. So meaning you want to create something or content where they feel like, I really want to follow this person. I want to be inspired by this person. And sure enough, you're going to create an audience in that sense. And another thing, going back to mistakes that people make, for example, in our organization, when we say, social media is a platform for you guys to be able to grow your business big. A huge mistake is people shy away from social media. So this is a different aspect of mistakes that people are making. The reason why they shy away is because they're scared of doing something that they're not used to. So for myself and my husband, 3 words come to mind whenever we think about social media, and that's do it anyway. Meaning, are you scared? Doesn't matter, do it anyway. Feel like you're too old? Doesn't matter, do it anyway. Do you feel like you don't have enough information or knowledge about social media? It's okay, do it anyways. Yes, sometimes you might make mistakes along the way, like I have definitely done. I think I've done more than you, honestly. But because we do it anyways, we learn as we go.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Jessica.
Those are all big points. I guess I would say show up. And that's anything in social media and in business. Most people just don't show up. They don't show up consistently. They don't show up with excellence. And when they do show up, they show up for the wrong reasons, like spam and things like that. So if you just show up to build a relationship with your people, you show up to post, you show up to tell a story, and you talk to the individual versus the masses trying to get this massive sign up, come into your business in 2 seconds, then you'll be ahead of most of the people out there. So just show up and show up with excellence.
The research that we went through this whole process was fascinating because it was extensive, and the don'ts were as long as your arm. Don't put up a bad photo of you that doesn't have a decent light. Don't be posting about your company and your product all that time. Keep that curiosity driven, but not specific. You all know the pages that look like an infomercial. Who wants to go to that page? One of the do's that I found interesting is decide what you're passionate about and post about that. It could be anything. It could be holistic living. It could be being a mom. It could be a sport. It could be a team. It could be any interest that you have in the world, travel, fashion, whatever it happens to be in the world. And if you learn how to curate content around that passion, fashions are going to come there. So if you're talking about fashion and you find a cool fashion photo, it doesn't need to be your photo. You can post it there, tag that person. Now that person goes, oh, that's really cool. Or if you're you follow a sports team, you're talking about that, you can post a video, or you can, I curate content all the time. What we put on Network Marketing Pro isn't all what we do. It's quotes from other people, it's videos from other people, it's ideas that are in alignment with what it is that we're doing. That's all easy to find. As you're going through social media with other influencers, you can do that. All of a sudden your audience starts to grow. You're bringing value to the world. The key is, are you bringing value to the world? Are they better off for looking at your information? And what I found is it's okay to talk about that psychiatrist moment, so long as you don't stay there. It's okay to say, last week I had a really bad day. This happened and this happened and this happened. But then you know what I realized? I realized that I was blessed. I traded my expectation for appreciation. I decided to look at this differently and look at it as a gift. And I wish you all the most amazing day, especially those who experience loss. You do that, and everybody goes, oh, okay, I love you. But if you stay in the pain, and there's no, I hate my ex, okay, that's not, there's going to be people, me too, but it's not going to be something that's going to build growth for you, okay? I noticed that each of you, and most of the top people, they really pay attention to their cover photos. They really pay attention to their profile picture. I mean, they're beautiful. Some, if you can afford it, are professionally done. But most are just, you take enough pictures until you find the one you love. You just, selfie yourself to death until you find one that's like, oh, that's a good one. That one makes me look better than I really am. That was amazing. I'm putting that one up. We were sitting at the beach with the family a while back, and we watched these two girls all day. They literally took 1,000 photos, jumping in the sand, flipping their hair, looking from back, all this stuff. Every possible angle you can imagine.
Challenge accepted.
I think he's talking about my niece.
They had 5.
Oh.
They were not supermodels, but I'll bet you they had 5 amazing ones that they put up on Instagram or Tinder or wherever. False advertising. But seriously, a photo of your best self in really good light with good energy. We all see the glamour shot, fake photo nonsense. This needs to be authentic. It needs to represent your spirit. It needs to represent what you're bringing out to the world, right? I've watched you all do that. And think about that. Take a look at your cover photo and your profile photo. And if it's all about your company, there's a picture of your pets or a picture, a long distance picture of your family that nobody can see in that little tiny thumbnail. You got to think about that. Also, the about section needs to not be a big commercial. It needs to be about you so people feel comfortable reaching out to you, right? What's one of the things that you've all used that's been the most effective? If you could just think through, what's been the most effective thing that I've done that maybe is a surprise? I have no idea. I haven't prepped any of these people for these questions. What's one of the most effective things that you've done that's helped you to attract leaders and to create duplication on your teams? Whoever'd like to start. Go ahead.
I would say it's being bold and being authentic and not caring what other people think of me. That has really done me well. I think a lot of people, I know this through coaching people, they just get so in their head and they're like, what are they going to think of me? And I'm like, is this what you believe? Is this what you believe? Is this what you're fired up about? Is this what you're passionate about? Roll with it. And not everybody's going to like you, and it's okay. But the more you stay congruent and you're conscious about what you're posting, and sometimes it may be something that you're letting it rip, and it's so authentic, and it's like, man, you just had this huge moment happen in your life. But the more you do that, the more people really feel like they know you. Especially my generation, they're over the quotes, I love that stuff. Like, thank you to all of our living legend or our past legends that have taught us things, but they want authentic leadership. You know, they want realness, rawness. They crave it. They can see past other stuff. So I think the more bold you can be, it's just the better off you're going to be, and you're going to attract the right people. That will serve you well.
People are attracted to passion, aren't they? Yeah, give a round of applause, right? Good stuff. Who else? Liz.
A simple thing that I do that creates duplication is one, not only posting consistently on Facebook, that's something that's seen. But one thing that's not seen that I highly recommend is messaging people. When you message them and they message you back, Facebook goes, oh, they know each other, and you start showing up in their newsfeed. And so one thing that I teach is every day go see whose birthday it is and reach out to them. What I realized is about every day I have at least 10 friends that have a birthday. So I would message them, hey,
This is super good.
little emoji. And I would get probably a 50% response, which I thought, okay, that's pretty good, but I want it better. So I was bold, and not everyone will probably do this. However, so I sing, it takes 8 seconds. I sing happy birthday to them. They'll have a great day. Bam, 90%. So like if I have 10 birthdays, 9 of the people respond, and my team is loving it. It's simple, it's duplicable, and we're showing up in more people's newsfeed.
Interesting. Happy birthday. Warm it up. Warm up your singing voice.
All right.
There.
First of all, I'm not singing to any of my people because I'll lose all my prospects.
Can you hear it? Happy birthday.
Yeah, no. Happy birthday to y'all. I will say Jeff Roberti private messaged me happy birthday, and I was like the $100 million man. Wish me happy birthday. And it made a difference because most people don't message you. That's a great point. And I framed it, put it on my wall. So thank you, Jeff. I would say it's not as much it was a mindset, remembering there's high tech and there's high touch. Yep. And very rarely, maybe you guys have experienced something different. Very rarely do I ever, and I think this is important for the audience to remember, very rarely do I ever have someone message me going, I see what you do, I'm in. Hardly ever. It's part of the process. So when you say how many recruits, since social media, almost every recruit out of hundreds of recruits, that has been one exposure in the many exposures of that process. So the goal is to use the social media to eventually be able to get on the phone and make the phone your best friend and then build that connection. The other thing is that making sure you're not posting constantly about your business. Mix it up, family, fun, a little bit of humor, maybe something that's encouraging, because we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. And so if you become attractive, that's what I was talking about, attractive, that made a big difference instead of trying to be something that I'm not. And I love what you said, be bold, be who you are, because if you're trying to be fake, people can pick that up real quick.
I'll give you an example of, there was a young lady that this last week, she's in a cosmetics company, and she was showing herself putting on some makeup, okay? But to have fun with it, she didn't mention her company one time. She didn't mention the product one time.
If you all haven't seen this video yet, you have to find it. It's hilarious.
She kind of set it up, and she had her husband, who was from Texas, do the play-by-play. He was like announcing the video. Okay, next thing you take this black thing here, and you do this a couple times. You try and get it all the way back to your ears. You do this, you do that. And it was hilarious.
See?
It was hilarious. Ellen DeGeneres shared it. Within 24 hours, this was a few days ago, it had 42,000 shares all over the world. Why? If she would have said, here's the product and it's only $7.97 that I'm putting on my eyes now, everybody would have turned out. Tuned out, everybody would have said not interested. Here's my company, here's my link, come join me. Everybody would have said nope, not interested. But whether it's singing a happy birthday or it's doing some funny little video or having fun with it and authentic, because everybody being shareable, being remarkable, being interesting, being entertaining, might be, you're going to try a whole bunch of things. Not every video she's put out has gotten that many shares and that much traction. You never know who's watching. You never know who's all of a sudden going to post. I remember just a few weeks ago, I see Mark Cuban puts up a post that says, entrepreneurs don't wait for support, they create it, by Eric Worre. And I went, what? Did we make this? Nope. He just found it and he put it on his page. Now, if I would have, inside of that quote would have been all about GoPro recruiting mastery and this and that, he wouldn't have put it out there. But he did. But I bet you the young lady that got the 42,000 shares right now, she has more people to talk to than she has time to talk to. I'm sure the local news is calling. I'm sure all kinds of stuff is happening in her life. So think about what you can do that's interesting and fun and authentic and real. Cedric, how about you?
I think something that you said earlier, Eric, when we came out on stage, is that over the past couple of years, so many people have forgotten about the telephone or shied away from the phone. And I think that you've got to use a mixture of both. So for me, one of those secrets that maybe a lot of people can't see is teaching and letting people understand that nobody inboxes you a credit card number. I want you to think about that. No one inboxes you their credit card number. Nobody's on your wall looking, saying, oh my goodness, this is awesome. And out of the blue, they send you their Amex. If so, it's fake. So no one does that. So since they don't do that, it's having that connection of being online, but pulling that conversation offline and becoming a human. When you pull that conversation offline and become a human, some of these people have been following you for 3 months, for 6 months, for a year, for 3 years. And you pull that conversation offline and have a conversation with them, it makes a lot of people's day for them to know, oh my goodness, XYZ person called me. Is this such and such? Or really, is it really you? And you start to look yourself in the mirror saying, is it really me? Yeah, it's me. Okay, so make sure that you understand that you're a person, that's a person on the other end. Don't let social media be the end all be all. You will separate yourself from so much noise. You will separate yourself from so much noise by understanding that your phone is extremely sexy. So when you look at it from the fact that it has all these apps on it, and a lot of them might be social media apps, the sexiest app on your phone right now is the one that has the freaking numbers in it. That's the sexiest app on your phone. So when you understand that and you connect those dots with the apps, amazing things will happen with your business, and that will start to get a lot more duplication because everybody can't post the fancy videos or some of the lifestyle things, but they can pick up the telephone, and the telephone isn't going anywhere, just in case you haven't noticed. Yep.
Okay, I want to add a couple things. I could keep watching that, but I assume some of you have lives. I'm hiding at my mom's, so I don't. But one thing that they said on there, and Eric Worre actually said it later on, he said obviously it goes with them being bold and everything else, but they talked about how and I think a lot of you have seen posts like this, but Facebook has an algorithm where you see about 2% of your friends' posts. So if you're commenting on theirs and they're commenting on yours, you see each other's stuff, right? But it's really like the same 20 people. So obviously, other than the happy birthday and the Facebook messages and things like that, one way to up the people that you're reaching is to do Facebook Live videos, which I know some of you do. Some of you want to pee your pants because that sounds horrifying. So you don't have to, but I'm saying, what do you have to lose? If it completely bombs, you can delete it. That's the joy in social media. I doubt if it bombs, people are going to share it and be like, you're awesome, right? Unless it's really hilarious, in which case you may still get prospects. I'm not sure, but you really have nothing to lose with it. So that's something you can kind of think about. But they said people are attracted to real. Tennille talked about it last week with that hot mess representative who was like, had the weird mask on her face and was talking. Like, people love real. The crazier people are, the more I will watch their videos. I'm not going to lie. I don't like the posed perfect things. I don't like it. I like real. So be thinking about how you can do Facebook Live. If you don't know how to do it, I'll show you really fast. Most of you are probably like, duh, we already know. You can go to, at the top of your screen, see how it says photo and then it says live. You just click that button and it's going to ask you to make a title for your video. You can write good morning. Like, please don't get hung up on the title. Just like, whatever, write something. And then it's going to count down 3, 2, 1. and then you're live. So one of the mistakes they talked about on the Eric Worre video, but I wanted to hurry this up for you, is not to wait for people to start watching. Have you seen those live videos where they're like, just waiting for followers? Makes you sound like you're desperate and dateless, okay? Like you have to just go. You have to go like there's people watching, because you know what? It's easier. If you wait till you have 15 viewers, then you might freak out. So just don't shuffle papers. Don't do your hair in the mirror. Like just start, catch their attention, because they can watch the replay when it's over. So jump on and go. But Facebook, they want the live feature to work so much that when you do that live video and you have viewers and people liking it, you're going to start to see each other's timelines, and you're going to attract more viewers, because they could tag someone and be like, oh, check this out, whatever. So that was one thing they said that I thought was super good. And I'm not always great. I do Facebook live videos for my team page all the time. I don't necessarily for my own personal page. And so that's a goal I have, because honestly, I have hit a point in my life where I truly don't care what people think. And I'm going to let my freak flag out on, Facebook Live. Now, one thing to consider, we still want to be professional, but that just means don't say anything that's going to completely turn a bunch of people off, ideally. Like on the election, you'll notice Tanya and I didn't really state our beliefs. That doesn't mean you guys can't be you, but because we're leading teams, we need you to know that we're neutral so that we're going to help everyone, if that makes sense. So it's just little things like that you want to kind of think before you do it. But if you're comfortable doing Facebook Live with your kids, or you're comfortable doing Facebook Live with some, like an iSerum application that you want to show on social media, it's just something. Like I said, you can delete it if you're not loving it, but it's a way to draw a crowd, because if someone sees their friend is going live, you click it, because it's way more intriguing than so-and-so posted a quote. Like, I love quotes, but I'm not going to jump to your page to see it. But if Tanya was doing a live video, or Christy or Kelly were doing a live video, and I was home, I would watch it, because if it says they're doing it, I want to see what they're going to talk about. So that's something to kind of put on your to-do list. And then I loved how the man said who said your phone is sexy, right? I mean, whatever. But what they said was build that relationship on social media, but then lock it up with a 3-way call. Just like Andreina did. I mean, I need to start going to the gym probably to meet prospects. I haven't looked there yet. Just kidding. But it's so important to follow up with a 3-way call. You have to make this network marketing. You have to network. You can't just use social media and pray that it's going to work out. Normally the prospects that just fall in your laps they don't always want to be here, So I pray, prospects fall in your laps, but let's just be really bold, be still professional, but have fun and show that on social media, show what you stand for, and just be bold with it. I just thought this was a fabulous follow-up to what Tennille talked about. If you're like me, I need to hear it a couple of times to figure out how it's going to kind of fit in my lifestyle. So I thought it was awesome. Next week, we'll do another video just to make sure you all hear what you need to. And I think especially coming into December, you may be in the car, you might be at relatives' houses. To really be on top of your social media game will be big, because, and my mom's here, she's going to hear me, but at family things, it's too much and I zone out and I get on Facebook because I need a timeout, right? It's not her. She's very quiet. But I have to be on there. Your friends are on Facebook over the holidays, you guys. Don't forget. Even if I want you to be with your families on Christmas, just like Jess Haley said, I want you to be in the moment. But if you have 2 seconds to post something to be present, because your friends are surely going to scroll through that, just think about that. So be present, schedule your posts if you need to, if you have a business page, but just kind of have that in the back of your minds. The holidays may be a time where we're not able to get in front of prospects as well, but you're still able to connect with them, because most people are attached to their phones when they're around family for several days. So maybe just mine, I'm not sure. But that's all I have. Tanya, anything you want to add before we hang it up?
Yes. Look at your cover photo and your profile photo and adjust it accordingly. If it's a picture of your hamster, Kate's going to spit out her water. If it's a picture of your hamster, change it. You want to attract, look at your Facebook page. It's basically, remember in the olden days where they had windows and they would have them decorated for different seasons. They didn't have a ton of marketing. They didn't have a ton of advertising. So their front window was their advertising. It was a reflection of what they were as a store or who they wanted to be, how they wanted to be portrayed. That's really what your Facebook page is all about. Every day, if not every other day, I go to my personal Facebook wall and I see what I'm tagged in because I get tagged in a ton of stuff. But there will also be people that are selling sunglasses or selling, I don't know, unicorns or whatever. And I delete those from my wall because I know that there are people that are looking at my wall that are considering jumping on board with me in my business. And exactly what Darren Kidd said, they're going to look at what you do and say, can I do what you do? Is it duplicatable? So I like to clean up my wall. And some of it is not even bad stuff. It's, somebody NLC qualified, but if it's inundated with Miriam, and they don't see me as a real life human being, I get rid of it. So go to your personal wall and edit what needs to be edited, get rid of any nonsense that doesn't need to be there, and to make your cover photo, make it look professional. Would you follow you? Would you want to sign up with a business with you, looking at what your front window of your store looks like? So look at that and take a look at everything through the eyes of someone else. Everything that I post, I'm always thinking, how will this be perceived? If anyone thinks that I don't have strong opinions one way or another about the election or even about faith or about it all, I do. I have a ton of them. And in fact, I'm very, very opinionated, but I stay very, very neutral. I do not want to I don't want to keep anybody out of my business that wants to be a part of it. And even people in my organization, I don't want people to think differently about how I view them because they think differently of me. I love everybody. I treat everybody like I want to be treated, and that's about all there is to it. But I stay super neutral in some of that stuff, especially political. So take a look at your cover photo and trade your expectations for appreciation. Jessica Haley, if you want the replay for that call that they did last night, Jessica and Noelle are doing a promo for all of us. If you did not listen to that call, you're going to want to hear it. But she said that she was at this event that we were just listening to. Trade your expectation for appreciation. Start appreciating everybody that said they were going to sign up with you as a brand partner and didn't, because there's a reason why they didn't. And if they didn't sign up or they were, kept putting it off, imagine what kind of a brand partner they would have been anyways. So just know the people that say no are probably saying no for a good reason, and just accept it and start appreciating the things that you do have. Stop looking at the lack and look at the overflow. Look at the things that you do have. And I have to have come to Jesus moments with myself, Monday mornings especially. I don't know what it is about Mondays. And today was gray and kind of rainy and Hot Mess Express. I needed to be appreciative of what I had. I needed to get a journal out and create a list of things I was grateful for, a gratitude list. So never stop working on you. It's so important. You need to be the best version of you because you will attract the best people out there. You will. I am not stopping looking for my second Kate Stevens. Not that she may have an evil twin out there. I'll even deal with the evil. Okay. But I'm not ever going to stop searching for my next NMD, my next Lexus earner, my next iPad earner. But I have got to be attractive. People are attracted to passion. They said it on the video. What are you passionate about? Make sure that is expressed on your Facebook wall, not how much you love hamsters. Okay. I love hamsters. I know they probably taste like chicken. It's all good, but we don't want to see pictures of them. Okay. And don't eat those for Christmas because the family's not going to like that. You will not be invited to Christmas Day next year. Okay. All right. That's it. So trade your expectations for appreciation, and God bless the hamsters. Peace, suckers. Thanks, Kate.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.